for them glasses you just said, but
I'm sorry you feel that way, sir.
no, you do not. You don't care.
All right. So first of all, a strategy. Tristan, what do you think a strategy is?
You don't know.
Strategy is where you try to
It's not Call of Duty or whatever you're thinking.
it's a plan to come up to get to the goal.
Okay, so you think it's a plan.
To get to your goal.
Chase, what do you think? What's a strategy?
A certain way to do something.
A way to do something.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, tell me, got another smart kid.
That's tough.
Damien, what do you think? What would you say a strategy is?
Having a way to think of stuff.
A way to think of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's basically what you just said.
Well, he said a way to think. He said a way to do. There's a difference.
Ish.
Barely.
A way to think. All right. Those are all pretty good ideas. Because when I think of a strategy, I think of like a tool I'm going to use to figure something out. So if we're talking about a strategy we can use in here, Gabriel, put it away. All the way. Okay. If I'm thinking about what we do in here, or when we take the STAR test, or in Miss Murray's when you have to do a vocab in people and look for the important information, it would probably help you to have a tool or a strategy to find that information easier, right? Okay. So, the strategy I'm going to tell you guys about is called, I'm going to put it over here. All right. The strategy I'm going to tell you guys about.
What's the name of that, my guy? PARS.
PARS. Because each letter in the strategy,
That's not even a word.
Has a meaning.
it's an acronym for my strategy. Each letter has a meaning or stands for something else. The P up here stands for preview. So,
The R retarded. The A, autism. The S,
be appropriate.
stop.
Okay, anyways. So if I know that you guys all have Mrs. Murray and you guys have to do reading and then finding information.
I wish I had Mrs. Brown.
So if I looked at this, yes, I got this from Miss Murray. If I looked at the reading I had to do, if I'm going to preview it, I'm pretty much just going to look over it. I'm going to look at what are the titles, and then I see a timeline. So I know there's certain events that happened. Over here on the side, I see like vocab words. So I know there's certain definitions I'm going to need to know. So I'm going to look at those key things to figure out what is this reading about and why do I need to know it. All right, the next step up here. So first you're going to preview, you're going to look it over and figure out what's the important information.
So you ain't going to school tomorrow?
The A is ask. You're going to ask questions like, why do I need to know this?
Is it reviewing that?
So you're not going to school?
I'm in school.
Are you Googling things back there? I'm kidding. Anyways, so then you're going to...
Is review and search.
Close. Read and summarize.
I was close.
So you're going to ask questions. You're going to say, why do I need to know this? Why is this person important? When did this happen? How does this apply to my life? After you ask those questions, you're going to start reading to try to answer those questions. So you're going to look through the paragraph and read and see if you can figure out who are they talking about? Where was this happening? Why do I need to know it? after you do that, after you read, you're going to summarize. So you're going to go back and think, like if I read this first paragraph right here,
But you didn't.
I didn't, I'm saying if I did,
There's no ifs about it.
I would go back and summarize and say, okay, that paragraph was about the Roaring Twenties. That was the main idea of the paragraph, was talking about the Roaring Twenties. And then I would go to my next paragraph, and I would kind of do that for each paragraph. Look through it, ask questions, and then try to answer those questions based on what I read to help you remember so you can do work more accurately and do better on the test. So, what I'm going to do now. You know, these are all
I'm loving it.
35 47.
All right, so what we're going to do next is I'm actually going to give these to you guys, and we are going to practice this just real quick. So I'm going to give it to you guys, and what I want you to do first is, with a pencil or a highlighter, I want you to, like, circle or highlight the important information. Look for the titles, look for the headlines, look for the vocab words, or the timeline at the bottom. So the first thing you're going to do when you get this paper is just highlight, circle the things that you think are important. We're going to go ahead and move on. I gave you guys a couple of minutes to preview and to look over and to try to find what the important information might be. I know that I saw Jose highlighting. Jose, what were you saying that would be important? Tell me one thing. Tell me what to say.
In this chapter, you will learn about changes has it shaped American space in the 1920s.
Yeah, very good. So he looked at the last sentence in the paragraph, which is kind of like a concluding sentence where they're going to wrap up what they talked about. So he just pointed out, we're going to learn about America in the 1920s. That's a pretty good thing to know. Eileen, what did you highlight? Okay. Gabriel, what'd you highlight? Okay.
I highlighted the
I
title.
don't have a highlighter.
I said pencil or highlight. Circle.
I'll have a pencil.
Okay. Dom, what'd you highlight?
It's pretty much about like in the
Just give me one thing you highlighted.
Give me mine.
I mean, you can't use
1920 Congress created a veterans brewer to give different types of aid to ex-soldiers and their families.
All right. So I'm going to start writing some of these down so we can keep track. So Jose kind of. So you guys previewed. You looked through your text to find out what the important information was. Now, if we're talking about what questions could we ask, Jose said he looked at that last sentence and he kind of answered our what question. What are we going to learn about?
The name of the title, the Americans want to go back to normal time.
Okay. Dom, what did you say? You're talking about Congress, right?
In 1920, Congress created the veterans brewer to give different types of aid to ex-soldiers and their families.
Okay. So Dom talked about an event or something that happened, an action that occurred.
Oh God.
All right, Chase, what's one thing you highlighted?
Dude, why would you do that in school?
What's that?
Did you wash your hair?
Just tell me one thing. Just tell me what. Is it on the front or the back? Neither.
Why is your
Okay.
hair wet?
Tori, did you highlight anything?
Can you understand the words that are coming out of my
Not
mouth?
yet. Okay.
You're dripping water all over the floor.
Okay.
Did someone stuff
So we-
Understand that?
Christopher, what did you highlight?
I underlined it.
Okay. So we have 2 questions we could ask so far. What happened? Dom kind of gave us an event. We know it's about a certain time period because it says right at the top, the Roaring 20s. So we know it's talking about an event in time. Could we ask, like, who was important during this time? Yes, we can ask who.
You should see your face.
I can't see my own face, my God.
Is this a who, what, where thing?